Yeah, so we make dua that we are one of the awliya of Allah, yeah, the friends of Allah. Yeah. The next one is Surah number 65, verse number 2 to 5. Allah will open up His treasures to someone who has taqwa. At the end of Surah number verse number 2. Yeah. Sorry. 65. Okay, at the end of verse number 2. Yeah. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَالِغُ أَمْرِهِ قَدْ جَعَلَ اللَّهُ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدْرًا. Okay, so it is Surah number 65. And whosoever fears Allah and keeps his duty to Him, He will make way for him to get out of every difficulty. He will provide for him from the sources never he could imagine. And whosoever puts his trust in Allah, then it will suffice. He will suffice him. Verily Allah will accomplish His purpose. Indeed Allah has set a measure of all things. Okay, carry on again in verse number 4 and 5. وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مِنْ أَمْرِهِ يُسْرًا وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهَ يُكَفِّرْ عَنْهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ وَيُعْظِمْ لَهُ أَجْرًا. Assalamualaikum. Yeah, which means, and whosoever fears Allah, that means with taqwa, He will make his matter easy for him. And whoever fears Allah and keeps his duty to Him, He will remit his sins from him and will enlarge his reward. Okay, so much thing to say about taqwa, isn't it true? Yeah. Another thing is one of the most important thing in verse number 19. Sorry, Surah number 19, verse number 63. Surah number 19, verse number 63. Tilkal jannatul lati nurithu min ibadina man kana taqiyya. Such is the garden of paradise which we shall give as an inheritance to those of our slaves who have been al-muttaqun with taqwa. So Allah has promised those people with taqwa a garden or Jannah, that is paradise. Okay, then to the same surah 19, verse number 71 to 72. 71 to 72. Wa in minkum illa wariduha kana ala rabbika hatman maqdiya thumma nunajji alladhina taqaw wa nadharu adh-dhalimina fiha jithiya. There is not one of you but will pass over hell. This is with your Lord a decree which must be accomplished. Then we shall save those who used to fear Allah, that means people with taqwa, and we shall leave the dhalimun. Dhalimun means the polytheists or wrongdoers, therein humble to their knees. So the person with taqwa will be saved in the next world. In Surah number 39, verse number 61. Okay, the last one, yeah. وَيُنَجِّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ اتَّقَوْا بِمَفَازَتِهِمْ لَا يَمَسُّهُمُ السُّوءُ وَلَهُمْ يَحْزَنُونَ. And Allah will deliver those who are muttaqun to their places of success. Success always is paradise. Evil shall not touch them, nor shall they grieve. Surah number 39, verse number 61. Okay, so isn't it so many things to be looking forward to if we have taqwa? It's not just a matter of, oh, you must do this, must do that. No, taqwa has so much benefits. That's why you can see many parts in the Quran. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu taqullah. Oh, you believe, have taqwa to Allah. Many parts in the Quran that reminds us to have taqwa because of the benefits is so much. Okay, don't worry about all this. Inshallah, I will post it to you in your email for all these details, because it's very important for us to have this and to ponder about the meaning of taqwa and the truthfulness. Okay, now we come to the main. Can you imagine, we took about 1.5 hours to discuss one verse. Now we come to the main topic for today, which is the dua. Okay, now let us recap what we have done last time. What are the etiquettes of dua? first thing that we need to do? Praise Allah and pray upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yeah, before we start, and then after that, praise the Qibla. Yes. Ask Allah by the beautiful names. We must be sincere towards Allah. Yeah. And I recap with you about the raising of hands. The raising of hands. Okay. We can do 4 things. Either you don't raise your hand at all, which is fine. The finger. And the raise your shoulder. And close together. And desperate measures. Up, separate. And these are desperate measures for people. Okay. So these are the different types of dua. We went through this before. About wiping the face after the dua, many scholars say that it is from a weak hadith. Okay, so of course it's up to you. I'm just telling you about what the scholars say. Yeah, but according to most scholars, the hadith of wiping the face after the dua is a weak hadith.
What about the one after sleep? You know, you start to surah and then the dua and then you wipe it over your body.
Yeah, that is different. This is just specifically the face, that's all. Yeah, I'm just saying, but it's up to you whether you want to do it or not. Yeah, but this is from the scholars. Yeah. Now, and also you need to perform wudu. And most important thing that you have to expect the best from Allah. That means always be positive. Never make dua to Allah and yet knowing that you think that Allah will not answer the dua. Okay, so we must always expect the best from Allah. Okay, the next one. Okay, again from Ibn Al-Qayyim, one of the greatest scholars, stated clearly, whoever reflects upon this issue deeply will realize that having the best expectations from Allah is equivalent to having good deeds and doing good with one's soul. For only when a person expects the best from Allah will he perform good deeds, since he will expect that Allah will reward him from his deeds and accept them. Therefore, the reason that he performs these good deeds was because of his good expectations of Allah. So, the more the person betters his expectations from Allah, the more good deeds he does. So, the point to note is that always expect that Allah will answer. No matter how impossible the task is, always expect the best from Allah. Okay? The next one is to be firm in the dua, which means you cannot say, "Oh Allah, answer the dua if you wish." Okay? Always be firm. The next one that we discussed was beseeching with humility, with hope, and with fear. Okay, never be arrogant because Allah cannot answer our dua anyway. Yeah. The next one that we did was to acknowledge one's sins. Okay, what is the dua that is the most recommended? That if we recite this, Allah will not reject the dua. It's the dua of Yunus alayhi salam. Okay, can we say together? La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minal dhalimin. Which means none has a right to be worshipped but you. Glorified are you. Truly I have been the wrongdoers. If you recite this according to authentic dua, your dua would not be rejected. Okay, start with this and make the dua quietly. Don't wail and cry and everything. Yeah, we make the dua quietly. And okay, this is from Ibn Taymiyyah, like one of the greatest scholars. A sign of why we must do dua quietly. Okay, it is a sign of strong iman, knowing that Allah is listening to us even in the quietest prayers and thoughts. Second is a sign of respect and manners in front of Allah. Third is to achieve humility. Fourth is to achieve sincerity, since others do not notice him. Fifth is the heart will concentrate more. The sixth shows how close a true believer is to Allah. Number 7, ensure continuity because silent dua is easier to do than loud dua. 8, less distraction to neighbors and those who are sitting next to him or her. And 9, to prevent jealousy or envy from others. Very good advice. Okay, because more often than not, you can see a lot of people make dua very loud, wailing, crying and everything. If you don't believe, go to Umrah or Hajj, we know. Yeah. The next is to dua, repeat the dua 3 times. Okay, this is we went through before. Try to repeat the dua 3 times. And next is to pray with concise dua, short dua, not long-winded. The most effective is also, of course, use the dua from the Quran and the Sunnah. Saying all this, of course, Allah will answer all our dua in our own language, but the best is from the Quran and the Sunnah. Okay. And last one is to say Amin. Okay, because if you say Amin, yeah, Allah will answer it, inshallah.